our last session today, we have yet another topic that will be interest to all of you. That is emerging professional opportunities along with the traditional practice for CAs. I invite on screen CA Jiten Mehta, CA Vatsal Doshi, and moderator Darshan Shah from Tally.
It is a great opportunity today for us that we discuss onto the new eras and the new ventures which we are going to come across in the new world. So today, what are the emerging opportunities for chartered accountants? So we have two dignitaries, two great speakers with us, Mr. C.A. Vatsal and Jiten Mehtaji. Okay, very renowned. I'll just give you a small brief understanding about these people, and they are really fantastic. You will enjoy listening to them. So C.A. Vatsal Doshi is practicing chartered accountant from last 2 to 3 years, and he is into compliance practice, statutory, direct, indirect audits, internal audits, ERP implementation. That's really great. With his love for system, he has successfully ensured the recording of operations of various processes in ERP for a manufacturing unlisted company. That's really fantastic. And he very in a very small time we have picked up this area. That's really good, Vatsalji. And he is really a tech enthusiast, leveraging the technology over mechanical processes and operations. That's really amazing. So that was about my one panelist, CA Vatsal Doshi. And we also have one of our very renowned and senior chartered accountant, Mr. Jiten Mehta. And believe me, it was a pleasure taking various sessions along with him and sharing the stage. And really, he's a very good speaker across. And I would like to give you a small introduction about him, that he is a 25 years of experience in the field of accountancy, taxations, and audit, system audits, and in IT area. So he is practicing since 1995, and he has been a co-convener into the Mumbai, the Matunga Study Circle. And yes, that was the place where we had met. And he has given lectures to various forums, and I would really see that he is having a diverse practice in various ERP implementations and customization, system implementations for organizations, technology consultancy for adopting and really taking up the latest things in technology. Believe me, he is a very good co-contributor for the publications in WIRC for guide to work from home for every professionals. That was a really interesting page. So really, I appreciate that. Means it was a good thing to really, it helped me also across to read that thing. And he's been a committee member at various places, like he was a part of Digital Transformation and Technology Committee of WIRC, of the and Information Technology Committee of Chamber of Taxations and Consulting. Yeah, so that was the brief introduction about these dignitaries, and we have deliberately seen that there are two people from two different eras. Like one has just started his practice with 2 to 3 years, and the another Jiten sir, who is having a quite experience onto the subject. And today, really want to see that how exactly this world is changing across. But before starting onto it, like I'm really seeing one area that this COVID has impacted good for different type of practice. It could be practice or business or any kind of, even like at home also there are a lot of impacts which has been seen with this COVID. Like my daughter is having a different culture altogether to work with his homeworks and things. But so definitely it would have impacted the practicing people and the work area. So how exactly, Jitenji, could you put some lights onto like whether this COVID, how it has impacted your practice and the businesses across? Jiten bhai?
Hi Darshan.
Hello sir.
Hi Darshan. Can you hear me?
Yes sir, very loud and clear sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Perfectly sir.
Thanks for the introduction, Darshan. And today's lecture of Venu Gopalji and afterwards Arpitji and Narasimhanji has given this insight. So good morning to all of you, all the participants, and happy CA Day to all of you. Now, well, as per Darshan, well, if looking at the way generally how Indians perform their business activity, I think all people are working better whether personal or physically present at the office location. So we are also used to that our staff should be present in the office and all that. But however, COVID has forced them to rely on the work from home mode of operations in order to survive the heat of the economy. So I think being in such a situation, there is no option but to agree to shift in a virtual mode to complete the work, whether work from home or now it is work from anywhere. Now we see the entrepreneurs or industrialists, they are sitting in the bungalows at Kandala, Lonavala, and they are working from there also. They are there for 15 days, 20 days. So this is the thing that has been, and we have technology in place. Technology is already there, but we are reluctant to use the same in our day-to-day functioning. And as a practicing child, I have seen that we are hardly using the available technology. But now I can say people are forced to adopt technology in few cases also reluctantly as no other choice. So it was a forcefully done. Many say it was COVID was discharged in boom. I'd say that COVID side situation should not happen, but we should adopt technology immediately. And like adopting new technology is a boon. And like people are talking about AI, ML, robotics, Narsaminji, RPG, all are passionate about the technology. I am also passionate about all this new technology, cryptocurrency, blockchain. But what is available today, I feel that people should use at least today what is available, because we, as a practitioner, we are very reluctant to use all this technology. It really saves our time. I can just give you one example, small example of mine, where we have done for work from home. Before going to emerging practices, I will just give you one small example. That as a practicing setup, I was using these things last 3 to 4 years. And same I had mentioned in my lecture, WRC BKC Auditorium just a month before March 2020. To be precise, on 20th February 2020, when I had a lecture on technology, smart technology adoption by practicing chartered accountants. So what we have done in our organization, we have made a template folder. Say example, I say assessment at 2021. This folder contains subfolders for ID, GST, ROC, documents, and miscellaneous, and many other folders. Again, all these subfolders have other subfolders like GST has subfolder for GST Challan, GST L1, GST 3B, ISD. Similarly, for document subfolders like we have bank statements, 6A deduction proofs, etc. So all this folder we make for our client. We have one email ID for assessment year 2021, and we upload that party wise, and then we share the link with our client. Like suppose example, Prime and Company. We share that to our client on Google Drive, and link is shared to them. So we inform our client that please upload all your documents on this in this folder, IT wise, GST wise, and otherwise. The same can be accessed from my office or staff work from home environment. So we can also upload to this folder. From our office also we can upload our documents in this folder. In this way we were able to do compliances from April 2020 onwards, because we are using since last 3-4 years. And I have received many calls from our chat who have attended that lecture that it was, we have learned in February 2020 and now it is useful in April 2020. So although it was a challenge for few clients, I think regarding audits and also scanning documents, but 80-90% of clients can do this. So we have continued the same for assessment at 2021, 22 also. And it's a real, like Google Drive is there, OneDrive is there, then many other facilities are available. So you have to use as per your organization. And one more thing we have done in the client's registered email ID. This is I'm talking about work from home and work from anywhere. Then we'll come to the new emerging areas. I'm talking about the existing technology which is available free of charge. So one more thing we have done in the client's registered email ID with IT and GST. The client has the registered email ID. We have activated forwarding mails in their email ID. Of course, with their knowledge and permission. And we have activated forwarding of emails received specifically from do not reply ID or do not reply GST to be forwarded to our office email ID. So we receive the mails and we don't have to call them for OTP, etc. So these two things have helped a lot. Like we use this Google Sheet also, Google Word document templates. But these two things like Google Drive and forwarding of the emails of departments has helped us a lot in our day-to-day practice. Also, one more advantage was that work from home, work from anywhere. Few of our employees, after working with us for many years, would left the job because their parents got job transfer to other cities, or after marriage they had to quit. Now, because of work from home culture, they have again joined our organization to provide virtual services from wherever they are. So this was the one more. I think people should adopt this existing technology and also learn about the new technology that will be replacing, like AI, robotics, and ML and all that things. But at least adopt what is available free of charge. and you have to adopt this in your practice. Yeah, yeah, Darshan.
That's really true, and your session on the subject of the fraternity was really right on time. And definitely there wasn't a shift into 360 way of working, but at least 180-degree definitely it was there. That there was a shift in change the way how we are working in virtual way. And I would really remember your when you are saying about the resources what you are using. I was really recalling my old days, wherein like in economics I heard one sentence that optimum utilization of the available resources. So this really giving us an example over there that how exactly we have changed the way and how we have optimally used the resources. That thanks really thankful for that sharing this your experience. So I would like to even get it from Vatsalji. Vatsalji, what's your views into this? Like how exactly this type of things COVID has changed the way of the practice you are doing.
Good morning, Darshan. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for getting me on this platform. And it was really great to hear Mr. Venugopalji and Arpitji, Narasimhanji, and Jitin.
Vatsalji, I'm sorry to interrupt. Your voice is too feeble. Are you on a mute or not too clear?
Yeah, is it audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I see an echo. Maybe you have an either system right next to you. It could be quite possible.
Yeah,
Please.
this is better. No?
Hello.
Better, right?
Yeah, please.
So I would just like to add on that, there was a lack of trust on the people, earlier when, the business practice in India is generally like, we see the work, we see the person who's doing the work, that's when we get the satisfaction of, that, okay, work is being done. So there was a very paradigm shift, from that physical environment to a virtual environment, wherein, each and every business stakeholders and employees were have to be trusted for business to perform. And, that was a very big shift, which was being seen due to COVID. Though all the processes, were practically the same, it was just shifted onto a virtual environment, wherein the controls, authorizations, and authentications became important and were placed in a much more better way to be used accordingly. So I see that a digital platform has already changed the way of working. So yeah, that's the thing I see that, that's how COVID has impacted. Over to you, Darshan bhai.
True. So yeah. So how exactly we are seeing this is that definitely this has changed the way we are working, and there has been different adoption of technologies across. Now, while seeing to it, definitely these technologies would be having some advantages or some disadvantages. So, what exactly was faced during that adoption? Were they much more useful, or they were having some issues? Okay, how exactly this has come across for Vatsalji? Can means while adopting such type of things, what exactly were the points?
So, Darshanji, to be honest, things generally don't come easy. You learn to adopt it. So, what I feel is that, with this technology turning in, it had advantages and disadvantages. It's like every coin has a two sides. The advantageous side was, as Narasimhanji and Arpit Kabraji rightly mentioned, the saving of time. So there were times wherein I had to travel to few client places, wherein it was really difficult for me to manage the time at the same time. Like if I was there, my employees could not actually take it over to talk with me because I was out of that communication mode, and I had I've already instructed them that do not call me. But but when I am in a virtual mode of practice, the best part is that I am here, I am serving the client as well as I am helping my employee complete it work. So that's the basic advantage I see that that we have taken into it. And on the other hand, it have become much easier for also clients to take this thing, sharing it over the screen, having the visuals of what we are talking, and at the same time being virtually present. It was initially difficult, honestly, yes, difficult to put over for the clients as well as us. But then with passage of time, yes, it became a very normalcy that everyone is now doing it. With clients also, we have now virtual calls, a Zoom meeting, scheduled setup meeting wherein we have these things processed. So I see that there was a very big shift of work, and of course the time saving has also brought in a lot more areas to learn and to practice on, which I think, yes, definitely, we are trying to now do the same thing, right? All of us are trying to save time, use the technology as the best leverage and take it away. Yeah.
So that's really great. And so here, so I understand there are two things. One is either I embrace the technology or still continue in a traditional way. So there are two options for me. What Jiten sir, you would like to add on to this, like how exactly things would really means what should we embrace the technology or we still continue means or a semi way? What exactly? What's your views onto it?
What I feel is this, of course, when you go virtually or on cloud, the security of data is a question. But that you have to take care, you have to enough security like antivirus, firewalls, etc. Everything is available. You should know how to implement that for your data safety. And in office also, whether the office also data is safe or not, and where the data is stored, anybody can copy. Like in Tally also, we have Tally server where no one knows where the data is. So all these type of small things, if you do, and with the growth in the field of tech, and one of my clients, what they did, they had like whether my staff will work or not. Where they did in the office only, this on the each and every machine, they install AnyDesk, and all the staff they access that AnyDesk of their office, which office machines are connected to the server. So they also, he is staying in that same building, so he can control whether other staff is working or not working. So now if you have lack of trust, these type of things are also possible. But you have to trust your staff. That is the main thing, and you have to get done time bound. So with the growth in the field of technology, I feel that traditional practice has come to a point, I think, where sooner or later the total work, or at least 90-95% work will be technology driven. So CSL explore opinion-based areas of work or areas where chances of technology, I think, replaces human mind is difficult. Because like RPG also told human mind, our CA-related knowledge, we definitely we have that work. But all the compliance work, all accounting work, like it is being reducing, like tax audit limit has increased, GST audit has been removed. Now robotics will do this automating, accounting and all that. So we can also think of exploring like a virtual CFO, then IBC is there, then forensic audit and fraud detection. It is a really good field now. Valuations, business restructuring, mergers and acquisitions. There are many other practices which we can do, and we can think out of box and come out of this doing of accounting, auditing, and only compliances. So if we devote some time, if we appoint some chartered accountant, and it is a fact that CXOs, that is CEO, CFO, CEO, CMO, CRO, CTO, there are so many now, plays very crucial role in driving growth for an organization. So I think one of the best thing is now a virtual CFO, CEO concept, which is going on the market. Yeah.
Super interesting. So, Jitenji, so can you give us some more ideas about this? What exactly virtual CFO, like whether it is for LME type of clienteles or it is for SME type of clienteles, like where exactly this virtual CFO fits into it? So definitely this is one of the emerging area. So can you just guide us on to how exactly this the word or the practice it revolves around this virtual CFO?
See, if I say virtual CFO, it is there since few years, but now because of this last 1.5 years, virtual CFO, virtual CEO, everything has gained momentum. Virtual CFO team is there, like CFO service providers. These providers, they provide a financial, looks after the financial health and organization strategy. So nowadays startups are mushrooming. I think there are so many startups, and for such startup, it's not cost effective. I think to appoint a full-time CFO. So these CSPs can provide virtually financial advice. Although CFO is not available in-house, but many CSPs are providing services 24/7. So for big corporates also, like it is for startups, for SMEs, small, but for big corporates also, when it's one-time activity or some specialized service, I think they take services from such professionals. They are called functional CFOs. There are functional CFOs who have experience in that field. They are expert in that field. So their in-house CFO can take consultancy from the functional CFO who can virtually give them that field, like example pharma. If that person is expert in pharma, he will definitely give some more inputs to my in-house CFO. So it is not like a small or medium it is costly for small and medium, but definitely big corporates also going for this type of services now. Now services I think provided by outsourced CFO include accounting, financial planning, and strategies, policies and controls. There is payroll processing is there. Many people are doing big they have 8,000, 10,000, 15,000 employees, payroll processing done by outsiders, outsourced companies, budgeting and variances, cash flow forecast and review, and many more. So this is there is no limit for this. Like if you are a CEO, you can give all the strategic planning and all that things. So also professors can provide services related to valuations and also forensic audit and fraud detection, FAFD. And I think now many aspects of FAFD are covered in latest Caro reporting. There are so many changes in Caro that few things are which we do in FAFD are covered in Caro. So and Caro is when we are signing the Caro, you should see that all these things are covered. So if you have a knowledge of FAFD, definitely it will be helpful for your Caro. If you can, I can. Asanta, if you want, I can give you one small example which I have done for a CFO.
Okay. Yeah, sir.
So I will give my personal example that for an organization we provide so that people should understand what type of services we can give. What we have done for few of our clients, I have started with one organization that virtual CFO and virtual CFO like services. So that type of services that we can provide is identifying build-to-suit warehouses at Bhiwandi. Then we have done for Pune and then Pan India. Then our network provides them C&F warehousing services, logistics, security services, then human resource, website development, marketing, social man of their products, and also social marketing of their products. And also we provide CFO services like ERP implementation, transaction processing. We used to use account writing charges. Now the word being used is transaction processing charges. You can charge more. This is how we use terminology. Now many big firms and they are using this word as transaction process. They feel accounts is so LS. So now this like in Sarabhai, they Madam tells it is so LS. So if you write account writing charges, instead of you should write transaction processing charges. Okay. Integration with e-commerce site, compliances, etc. So we provide one-stop solution. So these services can be provided by CA. We as a CA, we can give advice to our clients. We can always give this advice to our friends, our relatives, our family to become entrepreneur, businessmen. All these services, we have contacts in our field, different fields. So we can form a network, like ICI is also promoting networking now. So people say that they provide services all under one roof. But in our case, it's one-stop solution, but with all under specialized roofs. It is not under one roof, it is under specialized. So this is what is the main thing that.
That's really insightful. Like once you have really shared your own experience, your own example, which is giving a different diversion to people thinking about like what exactly could be the functionalities or what type of practices can a CA do. And really, when the examples are given in a very simple way, people understanding it in a very lucid way. So really, thanks, Jitenji, for sharing your own experience. That becomes much more stronger as compared to any others buying of any other experience. So there are really new emerging areas of different type of practices doing, and like I've heard about IBC, and even Vatsalji had many times spoken to me about it. So Vatsalji, can you just bring us some lights about like how exactly this new way of IBC is really an emerging field for these things? I know it has been practiced from many years also earlier, but recently it has been seen across that the people have taken much more interest into this IBC. So can you give us some lights on this IBC?
Sure, Darshan bhai. Let me tell you practice of IBC using a small story. Okay. So let's suppose there are two parties, Janak and Darshan. Okay. Darshan has to pay an amount to Janak. Okay. So Janak have already approached Darshan quite a few times, but Darshan, due to some reason, is unable to pay him. Okay. So what happens next is that Janak goes to a CA. Janak is really tired of it. He goes to a CA, यार ये पैसा नहीं दे रहा है, अभी हम क्या करें यार? So the CA tells him, okay, so why don't you go with a IBC process? Okay. So Janak was like, what is that? So he says that, okay, you do one thing, okay, you call Darshan, okay, and ask him in polite words that, are you ready to settle it up? Whatever be the case, are you ready to pay me something? So he calls up Darshan, in front of the game himself. He's like, "Kya Darshan? What are you doing?" So he's like, "Okay, I'm doing this, that," and then he asked him with a main question. So Darshan, what have you thought about paying? And Darshan, as usual, because of some reason, he avoided, and he just told him that I'll be really not able to pay you. So then Janak is like, "Abhi kuch karna hai." So the CA told Janak, "Okay, you don't worry, okay. Let's initiate IBC proceeding against Darshan." So then Janak was like, "Okay." So the CA sent a demand notice on behalf of Janak to Darshan that you are not paying me, and this is a demand notice that I am demanding the money on legal terms from you. You have to respond to that notice in a specified period of time. So Darshan replies him saying that he is unable to pay him. He is not able to pay him. So what happens next is that the CA files a suit in NCLT against Darshan on behalf of Janak. And then the whole proceedings takes place. So basically it's like a settlement affair. The whole IBC is like a settlement affair. So, just like earlier we had, we might have seen Vasuli Bai in Munna Bai. It's the same Vasuli Bai in a more sophisticated. Just to keep it lighter, on a lighter note, it's like the same Vasuli Bai, but on a very lighter note, a sophisticated note. And coming down, then the whole NCLT proceeding goes at par, and the whole business is to be managed by a resolvency professional. That himself, an IRP can only be a CA with at least 10 years of practice under him. So it's like both the senior one and the junior one, both can be working under the same assignment for IBC. Like there are so many things, like right from drafting, licensing, administrating the whole thing, attending on behalf of the client, managing the business, compliance, a lot of areas come actually live when an IBC comes into place. So I see that, IBC is such an area wherein, a CA can be working at a managerial level, or maybe at a CFO level, or maybe at a level wherein he is responsible for ensuring all the compliance and, all the implementation of the NCLT proceedings. So this is what I would say as a rough structure of IBC, though it is not the whole legal structure of how it goes. But for a layman, I can say that this is what the IBC practice consists of.
आपने तो मुझे थोड़ा सा विलनिक बना दिया यहाँ पे एंड इट्स रियली लुकिंग लाइक यहाँ पे कुछ मांडवली बादशाह एंड वसूली that really but definitely these type of practices are really shaping the new era. And once again, like it's seen that how exactly the new world would look like. So these are many areas in which things are shaping out. So let us give me some more insightful about like some type of I've heard about this system audits. So this is also one of the emerging area, and people are really interested on how exactly they step into this world. Okay, so it is also for the young chartered accountants and even for the seniors who are really looking a diversion into way of working. So how exactly this the system audit is coming into the picture. So can you give us some lights onto it, and we will definitely want some views from Jitenji also onto this, like how exactly this is going to change the world of the practice. So yeah.
So Darshan, as in the previous panel, it was already discussed that technology is already coming into place, and we are always, almost trying to leverage the technology in almost every processes where we can. So there is a shift which can be seen in the practicing area, wherein we are actually replacing technology at the mechanical jobs, and we are moving towards a consultational based practice. So when we are doing that, we are talking of implementing a system that is like a process. What is abstract in my mind has to be first written down on a document, has to be programmed into a computer for a computer to process the same. So what can be the risk here? The risk can be maybe the process is not drafted correctly, maybe the controls are not right, maybe the risk of the data being leaked out of the process. When the system is doing all the things, you never know, right? just to share one simple thing, there are almost 65,000 ports in our PC that can be connected to an outer network. It's like I'm just sharing this knowledge, just think of 65,000 doors in one house. Think about it, how risky it can be, how difficult it would be to manage a house 60 with such a huge number of doors. So as I have told that this is system wherein, a system has 65,000 doors, it would be definitely in an area wherein we have to look for the safety, the control, and ensuring the risk, keeping that risk to a minimal level. So this is where the IS audit comes into the picture. Not only IS audit, but a consultation based on system also comes into the practice.
True.
And Jitenji can definitely add on.
Jitenji, I think I've heard about one course called DISA, which really gives us this insight. So Jitenji, what's your views on this?
Like system audit is really picking up momentum. Like we have CISA, similarly for institute we have DISA, where many CAs have done DISA. For all that this SEBI rules are there now, everyone has to do this internal audit as well as system audits. So system audit that we are doing for our clients, where you have to see that there is we do as a privilege access management. That is one of the things, privilege access management that you have to do. One is that you have antivirus and firewall. And firewall also, when someone has a password to firewall, like if I give that firewall password to my friend or my colleague, and he goes inside that website or some in our system and tries to create mischief, there are many other software which directly throws him out if he is doing mischief. So friend in disguise, like if he is a friend, he knows the password, is entering that system. Then also there are type of software which we implement. So all these things we have to keep in mind for our big clients as well as medium and big clients. For small clients, of course, you don't have to worry about all these things. Like Narasimhan told, if you have a small amount, because when we are going on cloud also, Tally on cloud, people are worried, my data safe है, हमला sir आपका office में भी safe है, ये वो नहीं मालूम है अपने को. So where data like Tally server, I gave that example. If we don't know where the server is, so that type of thing we can use. Or Tally on cloud also. One of my clients, they came to us and to someone else. When I saw that client for cloud, Tally on cloud, when I saw his data, he was reluctant to give on cloud. When I saw his data that it was last 3 years, the turnover was 10 lakhs, 14 lakhs and 18 lakhs. So then I told that person, sir, when you are all yourself not interested in your data, how others will be interested? So to take your age, turnover was hardly anything. So he was so much worried about his data. I mean, sir, आपका जो टर्नओवर है उसमें आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं टर्नओवर बढ़ाने में, बाकी लोग क्या इंटरेस्ट है डेटा देखने में. तो ऑल दैट सब थिंग हैव टू टेक इन माइंड. सो जैसे बोला था मैंने कि ये सब टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करने के लिए छोटा चीज आप अडॉप्ट करेंगे, देन यू कैन गो फॉर एआई, एमएल, रोबोटिक्स, क्रिप्टोकरेंसी, ब्लॉकचेन. हमने बहुत लेक्चर्स अटेंड किए उसके, और ये फ्यूचर में है. बट अभी एज ऑन टुडे जो फ्री अवेलेबल है, इंस्टीट्यूट ने भी एमओयू बहुत साइन किया हुआ है. ऑल दैट थिंग्स इफ यू अडॉप्ट, you can easily, like a small thing in WhatsApp. Last thing I did in WhatsApp, I have created one group called Self. I added my wife in that. I have created one group, then I removed my wife from that group. So whatever messages I have issued in a day, if I think that message is important, I transfer to that Self. I myself transfer from my WhatsApp, from anywhere, I transfer to Self. So whenever I time at evening or night, I see all the messages in the Self, because we don't know. Darshan is sent in the morning. In the evening, I said, किसने भेजा था मुझे मालूम नहीं था, मैसेज बहुत अच्छा था. क्योंकि हमको जब बिजी रहते हैं, अर्पित जी बहुत बिजी रहते हैं इंस्टीट्यूट में, वेणुगोपाल जी बिजी, नरसिम्हा जी सब बिजी रहते हैं, तो वो मैसेज हम लोग सेल्फ में ट्रांसफर करते थे. सेल्फ में ट्रांसफर करना आप कभी भी देख सकते हैं. सेकंड थिंग, आई हैव मेड 3-4 more layers like income tax, GST and other folders, where I have made one group with Darshan over Tally and removed Darshan from that. So all Tally related I transfer to Tally, all IT related I transfer to IT. It is a small 1 second, but whenever you are free, you can bifurcate this. So these small things in WhatsApp you can do. So this is one small example that I've given you.
Yeah, very insightful, like means practical, and really I would try on my mobile also. So that's really great. And so definitely there are more emerging fields, and I think we should have continuous learning about these fields and the practical way how exactly the senior chartered accountants and the young chartered accountants implement into their way of working. and conducting such type of forums and sharing that type of knowledge would be very useful for the audience what has been coming over here. So I would really like to conclude on to Jitenji, if you can give some concluding areas that what would be the takeaways for all the participants in from today's session, it would be really great.
Yes, Darshan, I would add that it is a high time. It's a really high time that we adopt technology as on date, whatever is available, whether it is free or we are charging something like Microsoft 365 in Excel. You can do all things of like Power Query told, PG told. So we have Excel Power Query also. Power BI is there, Excel Power Query is there. So all these things, technology, if you use as on date, gather knowledge about emerging areas of practice and future technology. You have to gather that areas of practice. We have to learn that. So once you adopt technology, I have seen, you will feel that I have started delegating also. One of my colleagues, Ankit Jagdish Angvi, is with me right now. He might be on the panel. He's handling all my compliances. So when we delegate work to someone, we can concern more other areas. And he has helped me a lot in my practice. So once you adopt technology, you will feel the difference in providing value-added services to a client and also save on a lot of time. So I follow 4 T's in my life. DICI, THE, DICI, T for Tally, T for technology, and also T for TEAT. This is what I follow in my life. I see that, and many seniors also, seniors feel that the technology I'm not learning. Seniors, I have one senior, I'm just giving last example, one senior chartered accountant, he has more than 300 files. I just suggested him, you take one junior partner who has tech enthusiast who can handle your technology related things as a partner or as a retainership basis. So in this, when you have your practice, your age is 72 years, for few years you can give him guidance, he can handle all your clients, and then if God forbid something happens to us, at least our practice will continue and our family will get something from that. This is also one thing that we have to keep in mind. Many people, they say, "Main akela hu, main senior citizen hu, I can't adopt this technology." Or persons who are not unable, they can always take professional help like networking, or can have appoint someone as a outsourcing partner or something like that. Thank you, Darshan, for giving me.
Yeah.
So
So
Vatsal can.
yeah, Vatsal.
Thank you
So
very much.
Vatsal has his own insights about the practice and what are the takeaways from this session from your. Just let us know, Vatsalji.
Yeah, definitely. So I would just tell you that, see, initially when I started practice, okay, let me share a very small story. All my friends around me, all the peers who passed with me, everyone went in for a job. Everyone in my family told me you should go for a job. But I was so insistent and persistent. No, I want to go for practice. It was a risk that I took initially, but I find it's worth it. See, to conclude the whole session today, I would tell you that, there may be young listeners, there may be senior chartered accountants, to senior ones, adopt technology, save your time, be efficient in your practice, and go to a consultational based practice because you have a seniority experience on your profile. And to all the young emerging chartered accountants, equally leverage the same technology and come up. Okay, there is nothing wrong in either practicing or having a job. There is nothing wrong. Okay. But yes, a field of practice is something which you would love. The level of independence, the level of freedom you get is something really amazing. But only ensure that you have a discipline. Okay. But yes, that's what I would like to end up with. Adopt technology, come up with an efficient way of working. And that's it, because times are now gone, अरे ये सी के पास 700 फाइल है यार, इसका तो बहुत बड़ा practice है. That's not needed anymore. You can have a few clients, but clients who can make your life, and you can add a value to their life. You can have a very small cluster of clients. It's fine. But if you are adding value to your life and you are also adding value to theirs, you're done. You're good to go.
That's very simple to say, and that's really I enjoyed today on one part of that. Vatsalji and Jitenji has really shared their own personal views, and in a very simple way, what they have experienced in their own way and their own practices, that has been shared, and that is sometimes commendable. Like, it's not that they are just speaking because they wanted to have something with them. Okay, but really it was really good that we heard from them, and thanks really from Dil se Derek Dilseke for sharing all your views onto the new emerging opportunities. So thank you, Jitenji. Thank you, Vatsalji, for being part of this today's discussion. Really, it was great
Once
insight.
again, appreciate to all of you, and thank you for giving us this opportunity at Tally. We are so passionate about Tally and ICAI. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Komal.
I totally agree with Darshan. That was definitely a very riveting discussion. I think with the examples which we could relate it, made it all the more entertaining. So thank you, sirs. It was an absolute pleasure to host you all. I'm sure these insights will go a long way in deciding path for many of us. My heartfelt thanks to panelists who took out the time and shared their experience, opinion, and guide us. A special thank you to our audience for being part of this event. We wish you all a very happy CA day. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, panelists. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Close the session now.